I've got the Edelkrone JIB Plus Cinematic Advanced Bundle, and I am going to do a full review on it. I've been messing around with it for a couple weeks now. Going to use it for my car review channel, the straight pipes, to do cool car shots because I've never had a JIB before. When I started off, I was a gimbal Segway guy, the original gimbal Segway guy, but I always found you could never get those cool, like, robotic looking shots, and that's why I'm so stoked to finally get one of these to test out. I think the main thing that's cool about a JIB instead of a gimbal, for car stuff especially, is everything looks more like a proper commercial, where if you're just using a gimbal and walking around, it looks more like an Instagram like hype video. And I think that's the real benefit of having this robotic tracking JIB, is you can get commercial looking shots that you can't with the gimbal. Like I 100% feel like you just can't get that robotic looking perfect gimbal shot, and that's why I love this. So before I get into video of actually working through it and seeing how everything works, all the specific different things and how to get things that work, I'm going to go over the setup, the tear down. So setup, you can do about 8 minutes, and I did that outside in the wind to film a car review, and it was the first time taking it out of my house to set it up, so that is a pretty quick setup time, and I'm pretty stoked on that. Tear down, I got it torn down in 5 minutes, and I got it fitting all into a convertible, which means it's nice and easy to pack down. In their ads, I think they use like a 3D graphic or whatever of it moving around, and they show it quicker so that you can see what the full range of motion is while you're watching like a 5 or 10 second ad, which makes sense. So in real life, not like robotic arm, but if you're filming static stuff, you can ramp it very easily in like Premiere, and then you can get those robotic looking arm kind of shots. When setting this up, balancing is important. If you don't know anything about balancing cameras and camera systems, like I know from my days as a gimbal operator and a drone operator, you might have a hard time, but it's very important to balance everything. Look at this, see this? Balanced. So we're filming the IS500. We got this set up in like 8 minutes. The app is on. We are going to start by clicking both and group and connect. And then it's probably gonna ask me about my zoom motor, which I will click zoom control and then hold it so it doesn't close the lens. Stop at 28 and go all the way back to 60. And we are at our telephoto at 60. And we have zoom control, perfect. All right, first thing we're going to do is set up our tracking so we can track some cool taillights. So to start that off, we need to have the pin in, have this straight and lined up, nice and straight. Click done. We have the pin in, and then it says set to number 4, which is set to 4 and 66. That's where we set it up to. Click set. And then we are going to skip the point tracking because we don't have it set up in position just yet. So let's start on like a tail light or something. I'll bring it back here. And we will start by zooming out. Zoom out, there we go. So we're going to find point 1, so we're going to hold this. Click next, and then slide to a different position of the same point, and click here. So if we move it, it keeps tracking that point, so we will make position 1 right here, and then position 2 will be right here. And if we click position A, All right, okay. Since we got that, next thing we got to do is get the IS 500 badge looking juicy. So what we're going to do for that is actually go back to key pose, and we're going to learn to throw some zoom into it this time. Oh, there, bumpy surface. Our key pose one will be, okay, what do we want to end it on? Right here, zoomed in. Throw that in the sequencer, crank everything to full speed. Let's go to starting position, and then we'll click play. And we should get a nice tract of the badge while zooming in with the zoom motor. And this is at full speed. All right, and now let's do the exhaust tips. For exhaust tips, we'll use tracking. Okay, so point 1. And there's point 2. So let's make this position A. And this position B. And now let's go nice and smoothly down to position A. Nice. All right, so for the headlights, I think what we're going to do is actually flip the head so that we can get lower. So that's locked in. Let me just loosen this thing up. And then we just flip it upside down. Level it, tighten it back up, and then we turn it this way and flip that. All right, so with the head upside down, I'm going to make my first shot up here. Let's see, the point's gonna be there. I'm gonna focus on the headlight. I'm gonna make this point B, and then up here, point A. And now we're gonna go to point B. All right, I think we want a little more headlight on the left so we can frame shift that and then go back to point A. Point B. There, that looked great. Now let's try raising the tripod legs and getting a nice shot of the grill. So we're getting some nice height here. Pose 1, pose 2, and then end off with a nicely centered low pose 3. All right, sequencer and send it back to point 1, and let's see how that looks.
That's not it.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a cool shot. Actually worked. Lovely. All right. Let's pop the hood. All right, so let's do the dipstick. All right, and now for a nice close-up of the dipstick. That's a sick shot. That's a sick shot. Yeah, and then back to position A. All right, next we got to get the F logo. So let's move everything over one more time. So now let's get the F. I got that centered up. Next, move it in closer. All right, so we can start nice and high here. And then we can end it low over here. Ready, set, go. That's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. How does it look from that angle? Nice? All right, now we're gonna get this F Sport badge looking nice and juicy. All right, there's gonna be position A. And we'll set up position B nice and high up. And since it's a weird badge, let's change our focus mode to zone in the middle so we don't miss it. And go. Nice. Okay, let's center the wheel there. Center the wheel there. All right, and then our ending position will be right here, so the tripod's out of frame. And our starting position is going to be up high. Yeah, right there. That's cool, right? Even higher? What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, that's good to me, Yuri.
All right, let's go to position A. Oh, that does look pretty good. How did you know? One shot. Okay. One. Key pose. Two. And it'll just be kind of looking at the body line. I'm going to key pose it to make it perfect. So we start here. We're going to go down here, keep it centered, or key pose sequencer it to make it perfect, and then put the final shot right there. And key pose sequence. Started back at 1, and then we'll loop that one time. We're out of here. Click record, and now go to pose 2. It'll be a 16-second move. Oh, and that looks pretty good. Yeah, the shifter's lined up in the center. And pull the pin. And we click next. And then from a different angle, point at the shifter. All right, and now we have 2 points. So anywhere we move it, it'll have the shifter lined up. So let's start with down here and make the second position. Let's see, as high as we can go. And since it's already recording, let's click position A. It's going to stay on point 1. And we get a cool robot camera move onto the shifter. And then let's run it to point B so we can get the reverse shot of this too. That's money. All right. And then the first shot is going to be right here. Ready. The balance seems a little off. Seems a little back heavy, but we'll see if it still works out. Okay, and then right away we'll hit 1. There we go. Let's see how long it takes to power this down and pack it up into the car. So overall, does exactly what it says it can. They are always sending updates to make the products better and everything. I'm excited to keep testing it out as they release more stuff. Like I think Orbit is coming out too. I'm just really happy with it, and I'm excited to get more shots that make my car review videos look like commercials, and I'm excited to use it for product stuff too. I've been trying to review like my old retro toys and Hot Wheels and stuff, and that's been pretty cool. You can just get those like cool robotic camera angles so you can have it on loop and repeat and get your shots exactly the way you want it. And I'm actually most impressed with how easy it is to pack up, move around, and set up in different places, and how quickly the app works once you've wrapped your head around everything. So thanks Edelkrone for hooking this up. I'm excited to keep using it, and let me know if you get one, have any questions, or want to know if you want me to test out any shots for you before you buy one of these. Thanks for watching, guys. Watch the straight pipes to see more cool shots from this thing.